What's up, everyone? In today's video, we're going to go over a case study of how we scaled one of our e-commerce clients from $100,000 in monthly sales in January 2025 to over $700,000 in sales during the month of August 2025. So basically, in 7 months, we were able to 7x the whole business. And this video would feel like one of those videos that could actually help you generate over $1 million and scale your brand to over $1 million a month in revenue, if only you follow the strategies and you implement everything that I'm about to teach you today. So with that being said, I'm just going to remove myself out of the way, and we are going to go right into it. We're going to break down a playbook execution of the perfect creative strategy that led to scaling an e-commerce business by 700% over the span of 7 months. And we'll go extremely deep. Like, this is not your typical beginner's training of how you generate your first $10,000 a month. This is going to be very advanced tactics that not many marketers, not many e-commerce people are actually aware of and implementing right now. So this is your competitive advantage. Like, watch the video till the end. Don't scroll on TikTok, don't scroll on social media, don't scroll on Instagram. Like, just pay attention, because the next 30 or 40 minutes or whatever, however long it takes, this may be the only video that you need to watch in order to scale your business past $1 million a month in revenue. So pay close attention. Your chances of actually hitting 8 figures in the next 12 months or so are about 0.1%, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. So I wanted to add this disclaimer here. The following case study is a breakdown of the strategies that have worked for us in the past, but by no means are those any guarantees that you are going to achieve the same. Advertising is a game of probabilities, and your chances of success go extremely significantly higher if you just pay close attention and actually implement what I'm about to teach you. So with that being said, let's get into the case studies. Now, first of all, I just want to start with some proof, because there's a lot of skepticism on the internet regarding advertising agencies who post case studies, because everybody knows that most agencies lie and they try to portray themselves as the only reason why the brand has scaled, where the brand has scaled because of many different factors. So here on the following graph, you are going to be able to see the daily increase in ad spend since the start of 2025. As you can see, at around the month of January up until the month of April, we were hovering around $1,000 a day in spend up until mid-April, I think, which is when we actually started scaling up to a point where we now spend 4.5, and we're going to be going up to $5,000 a day very soon. As you can see here, it's not even the end of August, and we have already generated over close to $700,000. So we'll probably go beyond that within the next few days, given the pace that we are having right now. So it's quite visible. Like, this is a one-way street. As you can see here, it's not a fluke, it's not seasonality, it's not luck, it's constant scaling, as you are going to see when I show you the revenue numbers, which is actually the second graph that I'm going to go into. As you can see here, same thing. Right around mid-April, we started ramping up the ad spend, as you can see in the graph above. So, of course, the revenue increase also followed. As you can see, the brand initially was hovering between $3,000 to $7,000 a day in sales up until April, and we started working with them end of January 2025. And then since then, it has been a constant increase and a constant scale up to a point where now we are, as you can see here, hovering between the $30,000 a day and $40,000 a day mark. And the lowest days, as you can see right here, are about the 7 to 10K mark, whereas previously this was the best. Like, these were great days. Right now, great day is a day where we generate over $40,000 in sales. So here is the uncomfortable truth that most people in the ad creative space will not admit. Most brands and most ad creative agencies are stuck targeting the smallest but most expensive slice of the market. As you can see right here, the top 3% that are ready to buy now. Now, some of those brands are actually able to acquire customers that are within the 17% of people that are in the information gathering mode. So think of those customers as somebody who wants to buy a car, and now he's debating on whether he wants to buy a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a Porsche, or a Bugatti. Now, this person is going through all of the different offerings, he's comparing prices, he's looking at the different engines that the different car manufacturers offer, what's the durability, how good are they, how consistent, whatever, like how many horsepower. They're thinking about buying a car, and they're comparing the different alternatives. And this is the 17% of the total market. Meanwhile, 20% of the total market are aware that they have a problem, but have no idea what solutions there are on the market, and another 60% of the total market has no idea that there is a problem. These people are not searching for a product. They are not browsing your competitors. They don't even know that the problem they have could be solved by what you are selling. And this is where it gets worse. While you're spending $50 to $100 to acquire one person who's already shopping around and probably price comparing you against 5 other brands, we are acquiring these unaware customers for a fraction of the cost, and they are not comparing us to any alternative because we are the first brand to show them that the problem even exists. Like, we are the leader. We're educating people, and there is basically a very high likelihood of them actually converting with us because nobody is targeting them, nobody is speaking to them, and nobody is trying to acquire them. So there is no competition, and this is why this strategy is working so well. Let's talk about ad creative agencies for a second, because if you walk into any ad creative agency and actually watch the case studies that they present to you, here's exactly what they're going to give you. They do a lot of hook testing. They promise you that they're going to give you 150 videos that are hook tests, basically. So they test 10 to 20 different hooks, all saying basically the same exact thing in a different way. So they're speaking to the same person, they're just using different words, which is not strategy. Like, this is not how you scale. You are going to see a very shallow agitation, which is going to be something along the lines of, are you tired of your back pain? Are you tired of searching for a new car? Like, this is proper BS, and they don't even go into explaining why people should care about the problem that you are presenting to them. Then they would immediately jump into product introduction, and I'm going to show you a lot of examples from a very popular blonde guru on social media that's telling you, test this hook today, which is complete like BS, because this is not actually something that's going to scale your business to over $1 million a month. So they jump straight into like product introduction. Here is why our product, here's what's our product, and here's why it's amazing. I'm obsessed about this product, etc., etc. And they go about like very generic targeting. Like, people interested in mattresses and sleep products is the way they target people. They don't go deep. They don't try to understand the different pain points that those people that are interested in mattresses actually have, so that they can tailor this content in order to become relevant in front of those people. This approach worked in 2022, 2023, where UGC was new, and it was very easy to capture attention using this format. But consumers have developed the pattern recognition blindness, where they spot these ads within 0.7 seconds because everybody's using them. Like, it's all over the internet. Your Meta, if you open up your Meta account, if you open up Instagram, you're going to see like every 2 scrolls, somebody shouting at you that this is the best product in sliced bread and you should buy it. Like, this is just not working anymore. And the result is rising CPAs, creative fatigue, where your ads stop performing the moment you increase ad spend by 20%, and revenue ceiling that just feel impossible to break through no matter what the agency does. And there is a big lie out there on the internet right now where every single guru is pushing you the more volume lie. They just tell you that more ads equals better results, which is not always the case. And the reason why we scaled the client from $100,000 to $700,000 a month in 7 months was not because we created more content. We were actually producing like 12 to 15 unique video content pieces every single month. But it was because we stopped going after people immediately looking for the product that we were selling. This is super important. This is everything that you should be thinking of when you sell your product online on Meta or Instagram or Facebook. So Meta is basically Instagram and Facebook. But anyway, I'm speaking to 5 to 10 different e-commerce businesses every single week, and all they think is that they need more creatives, which is a trap. Like, they think that pumping out 50 to 100 pieces of content per month will solve their problems, and this is why they're just looking to add another creative partner so that they can produce more content, which is like BS. Volume with no strategy is so expensive. It's not gonna help you break past the ceiling that you have hit. You cannot scale past that revenue ceiling by creating more variations of the same failing approach. You need to fundamentally change who you are targeting and how you're speaking to those people. Now, why our approach works across many different industries. So every second brand owner I speak to asks me, but do you have experience in my niche? The truth is that we don't have experience in every niche, and your niche is probably not that special. We didn't have experience in selling mattresses too, but we helped the brand scale past $700,000 a month. As you can see here, 6.63 return on ad spend. Last 30 days, $100,000 in spend. Like it's quite clear. It's quite clear. We also didn't have experience in selling beauty accessories, but our first ad that we created for this 8-figure e-commerce businesses that has actually worked with your favorite blonde guru and a few more gurus on social media. Our first ad is currently, the first ad that we created for this company is the top performing ad creative in the ad account for the whole year. And this is a message that I exchanged with the founder, talking about the fact that this ad is still the top performing ad for new audiences. And he just asked me, what do we plan on doing for creating similar videos with different content creators or like different angles, etc., etc. So I gave him the 3 steps that we're going to be implementing to actually scale that winning ad creative. We also didn't have experience in selling hairbrushes, but our ads have helped a client break through the UK market for the first time ever with this message that I sent to the client a few days ago. We also didn't have any experience in selling Star Wars lightsabers, but we scaled from $200,000 to almost $600,000 a month in sales. We didn't have experience in selling weighted blankets and bed sheets, but we helped Hush blankets crack the code on TikTok and scale their ad account past $500,000 a month. And this is the ex-founder, the ex-owner of Hush, Aaron, who actually recommended us to a few of his buddies because we just did a great job for him. We had no experience in selling pet food, but we scaled from $200,000 to $400,000 a month. We didn't have experience in selling subscription craft boxes, but we scaled this client from like 50 last year or like 2023 to 140K in sales in 1 year. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's proven to work. I can go on and on. But you already get the point because your industry, it's just not special. I'm sorry to say this, but your product and your industry are just not special. And these are not isolated wins. This is what happens when you apply systematic research-backed creative strategy based on consumer behavior, psychology, and social media trends instead of throwing content at the wall and hoping that something is going to stick. Now, let's talk about the unique mechanism. This is the reason why everything that we do works. Our entire approach is built on the principles from Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz, who's the legendary direct response copywriter that's been selling, or his book has been selling for $400 plus, because it contains secrets that most marketers have never learned. They have never read the book. They, like a lot of people that you might actually speak to, they might not even have heard of the book, which is like a red flag. You should not work with those people. Now, understanding the 5 stages of awareness. He identified 5 stages of consumer awareness that most e-commerce businesses and agencies just completely ignore. You have the unaware, they don't know that they have a problem. Problem aware, they know they have a problem but don't know what's causing it. Solution aware, they know solutions exist but don't know about your specific product. And then these are the 2 warm audience sections where people are aware of your product but aren't convinced it is for them. And then the most aware, they're ready to buy, they just need to know a few more details and potentially see an offer. 90% of e-commerce businesses, and I'm going to show you in a second, focus on stages 4 and 5, which are the smallest and most expensive audiences because naturally speaking, these are going to be the most competitive audiences where everybody's trying to acquire because they are, aware, they want to buy, they just need some kind of an offer, like a good deal or something like this, just more social proof reviews. But we focus on stages 1, 2, and 3, creating problems out of thin air, basically, for people who didn't even know that they need a solution. Now, I'm going to show you how UGC actually evolved over the last few years. And our UGC 2.0 method has evolved far beyond the traditional user-generated content that we're going to see in just 1 second, because traditional UGC is like hook, product introduction, basic benefits, social proof, call to action, and that's it. And here are some examples that you would see online shared by your favorite guru that are actually your worst enemy. So let's play this one, the first one. This is absolutely terrible. Now, what you're gonna see here, basic problem introduction, like it's not even agitating the problem, it's just talking about questionable seafood selections at the grocery store. This is like so terrible. Then what you have here, the solution, of course, immediate product introduction without any education, without any like competition discrediting, without building the bulletproof case that people need in order to convert, or at least the cold audiences need. And then, of course, some extremely basic benefits, 0 detectable microplastics. Cool, but like, what's the problem with everything else on the market? Like, are there any detectable microplastics? How are you educating people that you are the better solution? Like, this is making me really angry because I know the influencer that's been selling and producing this content to brands that they want to scale, but they're not going to scale if they work with this particular influencer. Now, here, this is the like, I don't even know how to put it, but this is absolutely incredibly bad. content production. So let's see.
New fall flavor alert. So my favorite protein powder from Truvani just had the ultimate drop and I cannot contain my excitement.
I cannot contain my excitement. Wow.
This is their new pumpkin spice flavor, and when I tell you that I ran to order it, I'm not exaggerating.
She ran to order it online, like she was running.
I'm not exaggerating. It's just transporting me to this cozy little pumpkin patch in the middle of fall, and what's even better.
That's so cute. Now look, if you're trying to sell a protein powder because it tastes well, you are completely delusional if you think that you're going to scale into cold audiences, because people don't buy protein powder because it tastes good. People buy protein powder because they want to grow muscle mass, because they understand that the more they age, the more important actual physical activity gets, building muscle mass, because if you fall, then it can prevent you from falling, because you can catch yourself onto something, or like there are so many different reasons why people would buy a protein powder. And I would guess that the taste is not the thing that they're looking at when they're buying a protein powder, unless you're selling to somebody who's completely delusional and only like wants to like have something that tastes good and feels good. But like this is probably not the main audience of Truvani. And here's another absolutely ridiculous example about sleep supplements.
You've probably seen the ads for Verso's Evening Being and how much it's helped people improve their sleep. But
now, one thing that I have to mention, this ad starts by talking to people who have already seen ads for this product. So I get it. There is a place for this content in the whole funnel, but if you want to attract cold audiences, you cannot talk to people who you assume have seen your ad before, because if they haven't seen your ad, they're basically not qualified for your ad. And you're probably the audience that have not actually seen your ads is much bigger than the audience that have seen your ads. So this ad in itself doesn't speak to cold audiences. It speaks to people who have already seen your advertisements, been on your website, etc., etc. So this is ridiculous. Now, what you have here, extremely basic product problem introduction hooks. Then you have immediate product introductions without much education or discrediting the competition. You have angles that are completely off, selling protein powder because it tastes well, instead of educating people on all of the health benefits and potential health problems due to the lack of adequate protein intake. You have very weak body sections that are not building a bulletproof argument of why people need to buy the product. If you look at the body of Ad 3, you will hear fluff like proven by science. The science. Let's see.
This tasty nightcap is formulated with clinically studied, patented ingredients.
Clinically studied, patented ingredients. Well, why don't you go deeper on the clinical studies and actually present to people what are those? Like, why are they important? Why should they care about the problem in general? So you have all of these buzzwords that have not been supported with any evidence. The ad is just throwing claims, but gives absolutely no reason for people to buy right now, because it just doesn't sell them on the fact that not acting now will be more costly than paying the price of the product. Now, once again, I'm not saying that these ads will never work. They might work well and scale to a certain point, but the ads are meant to attract people in the consideration stage who are already familiar of a problem and they have a clear desire to buy a product from the same category. These ads might work well as supporting content for any other type of ad creative inside of the ad account that's achieving what we have been already discussing: educating, creating desire, creating a problem, and making people take action now. Now let's talk about how brands that are rapidly scaling without having or hitting any ceilings approach their ad creative strategy. We will call this the new way of scaling up. Now, UGC 2.0 structure is basically much more complicated than the typical UGC structure that most agencies and brands are currently using, because the UGC 2.0 contains multiple different parts that are extremely important for you to sell a product effectively to cold audiences. You have scene setting and relatability. You have scientific argument building urgency. You need to have competition discrediting with specific reasons as to why people should not care about your competition and buy from you. You need to create a problem and educate people on the problem. Objection handling before the ask, which is extremely effective when it comes to selling to people immediately. Then you introduce the product only like 1.5 minutes in, and then strong call to action with a lot of urgency. We don't introduce the product until nearly 1 minute into the ad. Before that, we're just building a bulletproof argument for why people should care about a problem that they didn't know they have. Let's look at we're going to actually look at only one of those examples because, as you can see here, they're both quite lengthy. They are not created by our team, and we will look at our examples later on. So I'm going to play this for you, not until the end, of course.
The same hormone that makes you a man is also making you bald. Here's how to keep both. At 38, I noticed something that made my blood run cold. My hairline was disappearing. At the exact same rate, my sex drive was increasing. Sounds backwards, right? You'd think losing hair would kill your confidence and libido, but it was the opposite. I felt more...
Now, as you can see, we're already 20 seconds in and we're not even talking about the product. Like, the product is not a point of focus here. We're only introducing the problem, and then we're going to be educating people on why they need to care about the problem.
More masculine than ever, yet I was going bald faster than my dad did. That's when I discovered the cruel biological joke that nature plays on men like us. The same hormone that makes you feel like a man, that drives your ambition.
Now here, this is the perfect time for you to introduce the secret. Like, why are things happening the way that they're happening, and why people need to care about them.
Your confidence, your sex drive, is the exact same hormone that's systematically destroying your hair follicles. It's called DHT.
Now, this is where you start educating people on the problem.
And if you're a guy in your late 30s or 40s watching your hairline retreat, you need to understand what's happening inside your body right now. Because once I learned the truth about DHT, I needed to find a way to keep my masculine edge, like a man everywhere else. That's exactly what the Spartan...
1 minute and 10 seconds in, they introduce the product, which is crazy. Like, most people would think that this is a waste of time and nobody's going to watch until the end. Nobody's going to stay until 1 minute and 10 seconds. But the thing is that you don't need anyone to stay until 1 minute and 10 seconds. You need just a specific person to stay so late into the ad. And the thing is that the longer they watch, the more likely it is for them to buy. So all you need to do within the first 15 to 20 seconds of your ad is to make the ad relatable, so that those people that you are actually targeting stay and watch until the end. They are intrigued enough for them to want to learn more and to educate themselves on the problem. Because if people go through this funnel, the conversion rate on those people is going to be extremely high. It's going to be much, much, much higher than if you had a 20-second ad and you had a higher percentage of people watching until the end, because in 20 seconds, you cannot really sell to those people effectively. The difference between the old way and the new way is quite clear. One focuses on the product while using language that cold audiences would never care about. And the other, the second one that we just watched, focuses on education. It defies the problem. It goes deep into agitation. It's discrediting any other potential competitive solution. It makes the ad of doing nothing worse than the act of buying now, and then introduces the product while creating a bulletproof argument as to why this product is the perfect fit for solving the newly created problem. The first type of ad creative has a chance of performing well for a certain time period, while the second has chances of generating millions of dollars and completely transforming your business. And that's because it really taps into the upper stages of awareness, the unaware and the problem aware levels. So I'm going to attach the link to this presentation somewhere below this video, potentially in the comment section. I'll see where I can add it so that you can watch the videos in your free time and understand basically how you need to approach your creative strategy. Now let's look deeper under the hood of what the most successful brands are actually doing. Now, they start with deep customer avatar research beyond surface level demographics. I'm now going to start specifically talking about the client that we scaled to $700K a month and their product, which was a mattress. Now, here's what most brands and agencies fail. They think that people with back pain is a customer avatar. It's not, it's just a symptom, because on top of that, our product had multiple different features that we could build our angles around. It was hypoallergenic, because this is a question for you. Do you know that most mattresses are toxic and emit harmful toxins into the air that you breathe for 8 hours while sleeping? And this can cause respiratory issues and in some cases cancer. Like, this is so powerful as an argument, and much more powerful than just the feature of being hypoallergenic, which is what most of the agencies on the market are actually going to promote, hypoallergenic, where nobody actually cares about it. Individually wrapped coils, that actually helps couples with different sleep preferences get a mattress that's half soft, half firm, for example. And furthermore, if your partner is consistently tossing and turning, the individually wrapped coils help distribute the weight in a way that the other partner won't feel that movement. Like, if you don't map the benefits of the features to the features themselves, yeah, you'll fail. with that in mind, we created multiple different customer avatars that were meant to speak to different people and understand the different customers that were actually our ICP. So we had a side sleeper, we had a back pain sufferer, we had a couple with different sleep preferences, and we had somebody, a female, that's eco-conscious. So these are completely different people that required completely different marketing angles in order to convert. On top of that, we wanted to go deeper on the customer suffering from back pain. So we downloaded a CSV file from Shopify with over 3,500 customer reviews. We fed them to Claude, and then we analyzed everything we could about these type of customers. And we found out that 8.4% of those customers who said back pain was the main reason they purchased from us were mattress attributed pain sufferers, which meant that our ads had to put the blame on their existing mattress. 5% of the customers said they had work-related back pain, which meant that we need to connect quality sleep to better work performance. Another 5% injury accident-related pain, so we had to connect the need for proper spine support to better recovery. 4% chronic medical condition, which meant that we needed a completely different approach to advertising. And if you don't go deep, yeah, you scale, but you hit a ceiling. And this is where this type of ad creative production is very useful, because it's going to help you break past that ceiling, because you're going to be speaking to different subsets of your main customer avatar, which is going to help you scale past $1 million a month. Now, we had to go deep and understand every specific customer segment, and this is something that I have discussed at length on one of my previous YouTube videos, which you can watch after you go through this whole presentation. Now, why every other agency approach is fundamentally flawed. It's not a secret that most creative agencies fail, and this is why. They sell you on the fact that more creators equal better results, and they promise you that 50 different creators testing your product is much better. It's going to be the way that you scale past your ceiling. But if you don't have strategic direction for those content creators, you're just getting 50 variations of the same failing approach. And we would rather work with 5 to 10 different content creators who understand consumer psychology than 50 random people making generic testimonials. Now, another thing that makes those agencies fail is the immediate product introduction, as we have already discussed. They just have a hook, and then they introduce a product, they have basic benefits, and then like super basic call to action. This approach only works on people who are already shopping for your product category. Meanwhile, spending the first minute of your ads educating people about problems that they didn't know they had. It builds scientific argument for why they should care, and positioning your brand as the authority that helped them discover this crucial information. You position yourself, your brand, as the leader in the space, because nobody else is doing this for them. And if you are having generic targeting, this is basically a recipe for disaster, because most agencies think that people interested in mattresses is sophisticated, whereas we create multiple campaigns for every single customer avatar type and every single problem that those people actually face. Now, another reason why most agencies and brands fail is because it's very shallow the way they educate people on the problem that they're solving, because this is big and this is separating us from pretty much everyone in the space, because most agencies actually create content without understanding the psychological triggers that actually drive purchasing decision. They'll test 20 different hooks, but they will never dive deep into why somebody would spend $1,200 on a mattress instead of just sleeping on their current mattress and like saving $1,200. Our approach is that we make staying in the same place much more painful than spending $1,200 on a new mattress. We don't just agitate, we educate with about the consequences. They have never considered symptoms that they didn't realize were connected to those problems, and long-term impact that they never thought about. Now, obviously the solution is UGC 2.0, and what I'm about to share with you is going to be a very deep breakdown of what you need to do as well, and how to create winning ads that actually scale your business. Now, first step, foundational research. We already spoke about this at length. Out of 3,700 reviews we analyzed, our client was actually focusing on value for money angle that only had 388 mentions, as you can see right here, and came in 5th place in order of importance for the customer. After we did our AI-powered research, we found out that there are 2 other angles that were much more important to our customers, such as comfort and support, and natural and not toxic materials that have both like 1,500 mentions. So that's 3,000 out of the 3.7K reviews that we analyzed. Our research showed that the best customers care more about scientific backing, health impacts, long-term sleep quality, non-toxic materials. So we completely shifted the price-focused messaging to authority-based, health-focused messaging. And we achieved this by using VSL ad creatives, podcast ads, UGC, founder-led content, and other stealth ad creatives that didn't look like ads. So I want to show you the first example of an ad creative that we are currently running at a 20x return on ad spend. I can probably share with you the exact results, but I'm not, because that's not the point of this whole thing. 20x return on ad spend, over $30,000 in sales from a single ad creative just in the last 30 days or the first 30 days of the ad creative running. Now let's play it.
Sarah just placed her third mattress order. I'm gonna call and thank her.
Now, if you are savvy e-commerce business owner or e-commerce marketer, you will probably have seen this ad type recently because a brand called Breeze actually started scaling it quite rapidly. Or if you are a long-term subscriber or a long-term follower of mine, you would know that we have been running this ad creative style since the end of 2022 or end of 2023. I cannot remember specifically, where one of our clients actually sent us the same thing. That's currently the buzz on social media, and everybody is saying that they figured it out, whereas they didn't.
Hello.
Hey Sarah, it's Emma calling from Sweet Z's. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Great. I just noticed that you've purchased 3 of our mattresses this year, and I just wanted to personally call and say thank you for your amazing support.
Oh wow, that's so nice. Yeah, we love them. We replace every mattress in our house. I actually even sent one to my parents. They're seriously like the best mattresses for my back pain, and they help me sleep cooler too.
Now, you just saw we presented the top 2 benefits of the product: back pain, cooler sleep, and I think we did something else as well.
Love that.
That's incredible.
No, that's it. This ad format serves as an umbrella for attracting every single customer avatar, because viewers connect on a personal level with your brand and they see the quality of your customer service while the customer is actually doing the selling, because most brands do the selling themselves. But this thing is like the premise of this ad, and why it works so well is because the customer, Sarah, in our case, is actually doing the selling. Now, it works because it just doesn't look like an ad. It looks like an organic social media content that's also selling a product. And this is what social media content should look like. Even though the ad you see, not below, above, is fake, because we used the UGC creator, this girl, and we called one of our team members, the ad is still generating phenomenal returns and a lot of engagement, a lot of positive comments, positive reactions, etc., etc. So people love it, even if it's fake. So think of what was possible if the founder actually wanted to put himself in front of the camera, which he didn't. So we had to be creative. Now, example number 2 is actually the bread and butter of what we do as an ad creative agency, which is a VSL ad with educational foundation. And these ads are really heavy hitters. And I'm sorry if I sound too proud, but this is world-class execution and script writing that actually sells.
Over 2,000 people joined a class action lawsuit stating that an invisible threat was causing their health to deteriorate while they slept.
I noticed that I had all these like little fibers.
So you see those news clips, they create the image of urgency, of importance, because these are news clips. Like, it starts with class action lawsuit. This is not your typical content that you see on social media, and that's why it's so effective at stopping the scroll. But not only stopping the scroll, but also converting people that stop scrolling, because even if your hook rate is low, like let's say 20%, 15%, the people that actually stop and watch, most of them are going to watch until 30 seconds, 60 seconds into the ad, even a minute and a half into the ad, and they would be that much more likely to purchase from you. And even if they don't, they already know the problem. They are already educated, and now they might start seeing, or they would enter the funnel and they would start seeing more content around this problem. That's basically driving traffic towards our product and our solution, because we are the first people that educated our customers and the viewer on the problem at hand.
There's all over my clothes.
The content label reads, inner cover, the mattress, 64% glass fiber.
The most dangerous toxins in your home are hiding in your bed.
Now, I'm not going to play this ad until the end, but I have provided you here with a very detailed explanation of why this ad works and the different building blocks, such as the hook, the problem cascade, and agitation, which basically we don't just state a problem, we build a problem cascade. Like, we create the enemy, we show a lot of personalization, our relatable, authentic looking creator brings the threat into the viewer's home. You have health stakes, you have the cover up, which basically shows that many brands don't tell you about this, and then we scope expand, because we tell people that it's going to get into their HVAC, into clothing, into carpets, and we just create that urgency that people need to care about this product. And I'm actually going to play it near the end, because I think it might be interesting for you to watch it and actually see what we're doing in our VSL ad creatives.
Bedroom, and you sleep on it 8 hours every day. According to the Environmental Working Group,
every single argument that we create is backed by social articles and scientific proof that creates that bulletproof argument that we have been talking about, that actually helps people sell and buy the product.
Microscopic glass fibers can cause serious respiratory issues, skin rashes, and eye damage when they're...
This is what I'm talking about when I say problem cascade. It just shows you all of the different problems that would build on top of each other if you don't take action now. And this is why I'm so bullish on trying to do everything you can in order to present all of the information that people need in order to take action now and make the action make the action of taking action now much more plausible and like make much more sense than not taking action and just staying where they are at right now.
Released. And the worst part, many brands don't tell you their mattresses have fiberglass. And once these particles escape, they can contaminate your entire home, getting into your HVAC system, clothing, and your carpets. Experts suggest looking for certification.
Now, this is where we transition into selling the product and basically building that case and that scenario of why our product is the best on the market and why you should care about this. And I'm not going to continue playing it because it's going to start revealing the product, but you get it. Like, we built that bulletproof argument and we haven't even introduced our product until 50 seconds into the ad. Now, let's move forward with the second great ad creative type that's actually working extremely well. And it's a VSL ad in disguise, and it's showing in the image of a podcast style health education.
Did you know that most mattress brands use questionable chemicals to keep the cost down?
Ew, really?
So sadly, yes, there was a study done that talks about how all these mattresses now have VOCs and petroleum byproducts, and they're emitting through the air while you sleep. So VOCs, they're like...
Now, you don't only need to make a statement, you also need to back that statement with proof and actually break it down into much more bite-sized educational pieces in order for people to actually understand the concept of VOCs, because we're not talking to people who know what a VOC is. Like, I personally didn't know what a VOC was until we started producing ads for this client, but going with the assumption that most people know would be wrong. Like, it's going to create a problem and we would be speaking to only like a more solution-aware audience, whereas what we're doing here is we're educating the unaware and the problem-aware audiences of all of the facts and the terms that we are using in order to describe the problem that we're facing.
Like these chemicals that can cause cancer, respiratory disruption, hormone issues. It's no joke. A recent study found that
and then we keep hammering people with more proof so that by the end of the ad, they just know that this is a serious problem and they need to take action.
Full memory foam mattress emitted like 61 different chemicals, including known carcinogens.
What am I supposed to do? Just stop sleeping?
And then boom, we start talking about the product right here. And of course, I've provided you with another very detailed guidance on how to create a similar super effective ad creative type, like what to do in the hook, how to introduce the problem and agitate people, like agitate the problem, the turning point, basically the planted question, like what am I supposed to do, just stop sleeping, and then you introduce the product. Then you offer the unique mechanism, which is something extremely important because every single VSL needs to have a unique mechanism and a unique delivery, a unique solution to the problem. Then you add some proof, and then, of course, the crazy offer and the call to action. And then here we have some static ad campaigns that are keeping on educating people on the different problems that they are facing. Why does my asthma get worse when I sleep? Your spine shouldn't look like this while you sleep. So we're educating people, you know, like we're not just hammering them with information, we're educating them. Now, this is pretty much it. And I know that you know that this is a funnel and the whole purpose of this thing is for me to actually convert you to become a customer for our agency. Now, you probably run similar funnels yourself and you are a sophisticated e-commerce business owner or a marketer who understands what exactly is happening right here. So I'm not going to insult your intelligence with the typical agency fluff or pretend that this isn't a sales process. Most case studies either cherry pick data or oversell their approach. They will show you the best month and pretend it's like typical performance when in reality it's very far away from it. I'm not doing that. What I've shown you is a systematic approach that works because it's based on fundamental principles of consumer psychology and direct response marketing. Principles that don't change when the latest iOS update rolls out or when TikTok changes their algorithm. The reason this approach works isn't because we are creative geniuses or because we have some secret network of amazing content creators. It works because we just understand something that most agencies have forgotten. The best opportunity for e-commerce advertising isn't fighting over the 5 to 10% of people who are ready to buy now. It's finding the 90% of people who don't even know they have a problem yet and being the brand that educates them about it. You're smart enough to recognize that this makes logical sense. So the question is whether you are ready to implement it in your business. So here's my offer to you. What you are going to get if you actually end up deciding to book a call, talk to me, and potentially consider ourselves, our agency, as the go-to partner for your business, you would get 50 pieces of video content, which is not going to be just random UGC. You're going to get 20 to 50 pieces of static ad creatives designed for specific customer avatars. You're going to get a complete customer research and angle development. You're going to get psychology-based content strategy using breakthrough advertising principles. And then you are going to get a performance analysis and iterations based on data. On top of everything, you're also going to get 10 specialized pieces of street interview content, because I want to highlight the fact that street interviews don't work for every business, but when they do, they have the potential to actually scale your business to like multiple millions of dollars in monthly revenue. And because they are hit or miss, I'd rather have you test those out for free if you actually decide to work with us instead of risking them not working in a separate campaign. The whole price for this thing is $8,500 in monthly investment, and we only work with businesses doing $2 million plus in annual revenue who sell the problem solution products. If you are in fashion, if you are in jewelry or similar categories where our education first approach wouldn't apply, this is not for you. And keep in mind that by the time you watch this video, this price might be even higher because we consistently increase our pricing because of the huge interest and demand that we get for our services. So of course we have to limit the people that could work with us, and we do this by increasing our monthly price. So we only take 2 new clients per quarter, and this allows us to give each brand strategic attention and custom research that drives these results. Now, we're not your typical agency that's going to onboard every single person that comes their way, because we cannot. Like, we have limited capacity, and I'm much more likely to limit the capacity of our agency than to offer a service that's just not good enough. Now, if you have watched or read this far, you are the type of person that we wanted to speak to and we love working with. So you understand that creative isn't just about making pretty videos. It's about understanding consumer psychology, targeting the right audiences, and building systematic approaches that actually scale. You understand the biggest opportunity right now is targeting the customers that other agencies completely ignore, and the people who don't even know that they have a problem yet. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to this link, open this presentation, and book a call, a 30-minute UGC 2.0 session with us. Or you just type out ljv-media.com/schedule, and then you book here. During this call, we would analyze your current creative approach and identify opportunities. We will determine each customer avatar that you're missing. We will show you exactly how our UGC 2.0 system would apply to your brand, and we will discuss whether or not this approach is right for your business. This isn't a typical agency call, and we're going to ask a lot of questions because we actively want to disqualify you. We want to find the different reasons why we would not be able to generate good results for you in order for us to not disappoint you, and whether or not you are ready to move forward beyond the basic UGC approach that's keeping you stuck. So if you're already doing, if you're doing less than $2 million annually, or you're just not ready to invest in systematic creative strategy, this call is just not for you. But if you're ready to break through your current ceiling, the target, by targeting people that your competitors don't even know they exist, then book a call right here or following this link, ljv-media.com/schedule, and then book a call with myself. So with that being said, I really appreciate you watching until the end, and I look forward to seeing you in my next videos.